Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about medical gaslighting. Yes, I am in my pajamas. It's just not a day to get dressed, I feel like. This video is probably not going to be as jolly as my other ones. I gotta be perfectly honest. I've had this idea to do this video for a while and I've been putting it off because even just looking at some of the letters I'm going to talk about, it's just making me get so angry. And when I get angry, I get in pain and I just don't want to think about it. But we're here to raise awareness, so that's what's going to happen today. There's also a bit of seriousness in this video I'm going to talk about as well, so just giving you a little warning there. Yeah, I hope you learn something or enjoy this video. It's a bit of a weird one to enjoy, but yeah. So first of all, what is medical gaslighting? So it's when a physician or another medical provider downplays a patient's concerns. So it's normally they can accuse you of being too sensitive or overreacting to pain. My thing a lot was, oh, it's just period pains, or you're just growing. I got that an awful lot. I was just growing pains, you'll be fine, don't worry. I just think you're being over dramatic. So this post by Endo with Stace NZ, I think that's what it is, shows, I don't know how up to date this is now, mind, but 75% of endo patients have been dismissed as neurotic. So they've been basically saying like, oh, the pain's in your head, or they've sent them to neurology to sort out the issue, when obviously that's not the issue, it is endo pains. So it just shows how many girls get dismissed, especially I find, obviously I don't know much about other conditions, but especially with endo, because everyone's like, oh, just painful period, it's so easy to be pushed off, and with gynecology just being not really cared about, I feel like, to be honest. So it feels like we're just the last ones to be thought of, really. And especially with regards to endo, it's like still not that much research and things into it. It's just easier to push them off. And looking at my letters, yeah, I feel like every girl's gone through it at some point in their endo journey, being pushed off by someone multiple times, one time, at least once. I'm going to put some posts up here. Obviously, I'm not going to read out all of this one because it's got swearing in. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that on here. Not that I got money anyway, but still. But yeah, it's just saying how messed up it is that women with endo have to fight daily to be heard and have the help that they need from the medical professionals. This is the thing. You think medical professionals are here to help you. You know, you're safe now. You're talking to someone, you've told them. And it can be the complete opposite. They act like they don't care. I just don't know why you'd want to go into that profession if you genuinely don't care about people. So just don't do it. I don't know. And then this post as well, I think these are all by the same lady. I'm going to put her at downstairs. Brain fog, sorry. Right, no, in the down bar. These are Instagram pages I get most of these from. They do like cool little pictures like this for me to use in my videos. And this is also Endo with Stace NZ. And yeah, it's just like the years of fighting to be heard and not helped her, not okay. And then on the girl, it's just showing how we feel, which, yeah, is perfect, really. So this part is really quite serious. So this is, I really want to try and say her name right, but I know I'm probably not gonna because I'm rubbish at names. So this is O'Brien Rogers, and I think it was last year. Bless her, she ended up passing away, which is horrendous because no one ever thought you could pass away with endo. But if it's left so untreated, I think she had a really, she was going back and forth, documents and everything online, going back and forth with the pain, and she just kept getting dismissed, and it got to a point she had a really large cyst, and it burst and it did turn fatal, which is absolutely horrendous because you can see on all her posts like she was going back and forth telling them that she needed help and she just wasn't getting it. So endo can be fatal, and this is why it's so important to raise awareness. Like some people, they're just like, oh, it's alright, it's just a bad period, but no, it's not. Like, this is horrendous thing to happen to this poor lovely lady as well. There's so many other things that can happen, like obviously cysts can burst, it can go on any organ, and I don't really know the effects of if it goes deep into some organs. You just don't know what can happen. Like so many girls have had to have stoma bags, catheters, all that, but we don't know about the more serious organs because it can be found on any organ in the body. So it is likened to cancer, really. It's just not seen as fatal, obviously, because it's not as bad as cancer, but the way it spreads is like cancer, they say. So it's just, this is one of the main reasons why it's so important to raise awareness. it's just so heartbreaking as well. Like something so easy as her maybe getting a scan and them seeing it and sorting it in time, just because she was pushed away, it shouldn't come to this. So that's why if you're getting, what's the word, pushed away and gaslighted by someone, it's so important just to see someone else. Like, I know what it's like because I've done it in the past. I've gone, oh, it's fine, I'll just leave it then. But after seeing this story last year, you know your body, and if you know something's not right, you've just got to go, no, I don't agree with your opinion, or go and see someone else, because it can really be really important. So I'm going to briefly talk about my little medical gaslighting journey. I can't say I've had loads and loads of stuff that I can remember. A lot of it I've had to try and just get over my head because people drive you insane. So I'm going to try and be quick, because then, I don't know if you've noticed from the title, we've got a little collab today. Jazz is going to be telling at Endo with Jazz on Instagram. I'll put it by here maybe if I don't have to do that. She's going to be telling us all about her story, which has been absolutely horrendous. So I don't want to just tell my story now and sound pathetic, because there's nothing compared to Jazz's, but everyone has a different story. Sorry, I just realised I never thought I'd be sat on YouTube in my bloody pyjamas, but here I am. Yeah, so these are like, I've got actual letters and stuff. I'm not obviously going to show where and names and things, because I've got a feeling this one might still be working, which is horrendous. I think both of them are actually concerning. But yeah, apart from just doctors, and this is the thing, I was lucky to have 2 doctors that have been really good for me, like sending me to consultants, referring me for things, getting the medication I need. But before that, all the people I had to see, and they were just like, because my pain started when I was 16, I just had, oh, it's growing pains, love, or, you know, you're still young, you're still growing, it'll hurt a bit. And I'm like, right, okay. My first actual appointment, when we full on talked about it, my mum was sat next to me as well, which is fine, like, she knows everything. But they were like, oh, love, I don't know why I keep saying love, please don't call me love, I don't know why I keep saying that. They're like, oh, you just, maybe you should get pregnant. And I was like, I'm 16. They're like, yeah, but it'll help the pain. And my mum's face, my face, I was just like, you are. And I was like, single, you know, 16. I was like, what a thing to tell a young 16-year-old. It's just, I still, like now, how old am I now? 22. All these years later, I'm still absolutely baffled that was like my first appointment talking about my endo pains, and that was what I was told. And from then on, I've just been on a contraceptive pill which is so ironic, which is meant to control the pain, which my consultant has said it, how did he put it? I can't remember how he put it now. Masks the endo or something like that. It doesn't stop it growing, but it's meant to mask the symptoms. But I've read otherwise, so I don't know. I'm just doing what they tell me. But that's something, yeah, I've been told that quite a bit. I was told if nothing was found in this laparoscopy, I'd be sent to cognitive behavioural therapy, which is basically telling me it's all in your head and you go to therapy for it. I've been sent to dietitians because they said it's just food intolerance, gastroenterology, everything. So this first, like that's just a brief of the stuff, but this stuff is like where it goes down. So this was the first gastroenterologist I saw, I think. I can't remember what bit I wanted to say. Wait, I'm going to read it to summarise it because you don't need to hear all of it. Okay, so I went to see this gastroenterologist after my first laparoscopy. And my first laparoscopy didn't actually find any endo at the time. So, yeah, he said, did not show any endometriosis. She was told afterwards that her bowels look inflamed, although it's not clear exactly what was meant by this. She was then interestingly told she had an irritable bowel. I do not have access to the laparoscopy report, whatever. Sorry, can I just also add, in fact, this guy was so rude to the point, me and my mum are quite, you know, we'll sit there and take some shit. But, oh, sorry, I said I'm not going to swear on you, but there we go. But it got to the point, when the appointment was done, we walked up there and we slammed the door because I was fuming. What was the other bit he said that actually really pissed me off as well? In actual, this is talking about my weight, which you can see is clearly an issue. I get that, like, you know, I get it all the time. Oh, you're in pink, you're fat, fine, whatever. But even if she put, I think he's talking about maybe like Crohn's where you lose weight, but in actual fact, I can see that it has gone up noticeably since February last year, and she's now today talking about my weight, and I'm like, he knows full well I'm getting this letter. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just so rude. Yeah, he said like, oh, she's found gluten-free is helpful, but when I had the test, it was normal. Well, clearly something else is going on then, hun, isn't there? Like, do you know what I mean? It's so annoying. Yeah, he also said, I told him about my PCOS, and he said that my ultrasound looked normal. I was told on my ultrasound that I had PCOS, and he's a gynecologist, a gastroenterologist, so I'm going to listen to the gynae, sorry, hun. I've been told like 3 times now that, like, even in my last lap, he said they look quite polycystic, like they're quite, I think apparently they can get worse with your weight, so if I lose weight, they get better. I don't know. That might be a lie. That's what I was told. Oh, so I've read these in the wrong order, but it doesn't really matter. This is the first letter that I had. I don't know if he thought I was ever going to get these letters, to be honest, because why did I need them? Oh, I think because I was getting referred to a new specialist, my doctor just printed everything out for me to give him everything, to be like, look, this is what she's had done. So he put, this young lady with her mother came in today and was told that her bowels look inflamed at the laparoscopy performed in February of this year. She was then told she had IBS, so I wonder if she got the wrong end of the stick. No, hun, that's what I was told. Literally, I come out of my surgery, within seconds I was half asleep, and my mum was there and my sister, so I'm not just making stuff up. And he was there, he was like, no, you got Spongy-Bell, I think you've got IBS, and he sent me to a dietitian. That's what I was told. And he was trying to tell me that what I was told didn't happen. I'm like, well, it did, because you weren't there, hun. But, I'm getting angry now, see. She does not have any particular bowel symptoms. I told him I did. My endo's on my bowel. I told him about my bowel symptoms. He just didn't give a shit to listen. I'd be grateful if you could let me know what was found. Oh, do you know, just reading this, he's a dick. Oh my god, another one. Ugh. Yeah, I had a sample done, and he was like, oh, it's well in normal range. This is reassuring. I also had some correspondence from my doctor, the one I saw the first time, in gynae, clarifying a bit more information about your laparoscopy last year. He commented he had obtained excellent views of your pelvis and was entirely normal, with no evidence of endometriosis and no adhesions. I felt that you had symptoms in keeping with an irritable bowel. Inflammation was at no point mentioned. I think this is very reassuring. I have not arranged to see you again routinely. Well, I don't want to see you either, hun, because what a load of shit. Thing is, that's exactly what I was told. I was like, well, I'm not going to make it up. That's exactly what he said to me when I woke up, and that's what I told my gastroenterologist. And he was like, no, he didn't even listen to me. I'm sure when I was sat there, he didn't even look at me, didn't touch my tummy, nothing. He made me do a sample, which he's like, oh yeah, it's fine. But I hated the man. I'd say that's the worst person. Well, one, I've got another experience for you, but one of the worst people I've seen, because he couldn't even sit there to listen to me. I've seen gastroenterologists since. I've seen one privately, and he was so lovely. Like, he took it to sit there and talk about every single thing I wanted to talk about, any questions, anything. And he did say I had some sort of functional bowel disease, but he said he can't say that's not because of potential endo. So I just feel like what it comes down to is they don't know enough about it, or about how it can affect bowel situations and how it can affect anything, and they just think you're crazy, or that I'm trying to get tablets off people, because they were like, oh well, taking the medication ain't gonna help. And I'm like, yeah, I know it. It's not, like, obviously with bowel endo, most medications can cause constipation, and that's what you have with bowel endo anyway. But at the end of the day, it's either deal with that or deal with the pain. I think I'd rather deal with that than the pain. So, sorry, I need to breathe for a minute because I'm riled up now. Okay, so my next story, I genuinely actually forgot about this. It was only when I got all my paperwork out, I was like, oh my god, yeah. And I wasn't going to read the letter, but now I read the letter, I just remember how much of a dick he was, so I'm going to read it anyway. And I said I wasn't going to swear. Sorry, this is me getting angry. So this one I saw in 2019. Fun fact, I paid £150 to see this man because I thought this was after my first laparoscopy. I was still in agony, so I was just bouncing through all the gynaes just to see who would sort me out, kind of thing. This letter is probably longer than the conversation I had with him, and even I'll have to try and hide some details, but what am I doing? But the letter's not even that long, as you can see. That's it. So that tells you, literally, me and my mum walked in his room, sat down, he opened my folder, he went, oh, you've had a laparoscopy under no endo was found. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I don't know why you're in pain then. I wasn't even in the room 5 minutes. That was my appointment. That was it. He was like, oh, well, I can order you an MRI if you want. And I was like, well, yeah, okay. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, okay, maybe I'll do that then. And he wrote it down. Never ever had an appointment, never had a referral or anything. Because I went to see him private. I wasn't ready to pay, like, what was it, £600 for an MRI. I was going to get referred back to the NHS, but that never happened. He was meant to do something else as well, I think. I can't remember, but that was literally how my appointment. It was so rude. I was like, oh my god. So this is my letter. Yeah, he was like, I reviewed Courtney in the clinic today. At the time, I was 20 years old. Have a long history of pelvic pain, investigated by ultrasound scan of the pelvis and laparoscopy in the past, with no obvious gynecological abnormality found. I've been on Sorel for the past 3 years, no periods. A combination of this above the laparoscopy findings would suggest that she does not have a gynecological cause for her pain. Should I go get my pictures and just... do you know, that's all I want to do. All the people that told me I don't have endo, I want to get the pictures from my surgery and go, what's this then? Because I'm just so done with these people. Yeah, I understand that Courtney's been investigated by gastroenterology with no obvious bowel cause for her pain found either. I have suggested to Courtney that I do not know the cause of her pain. I wonder whether a repeat ultrasound might be reassuring for Courtney. Oh, do you know what? Condescending ass. There may be something to be said for further Oh, sorry, I can't read. There may be something to be said for considering further imaging with a CT of abdomen and pelvis. And he just said, like, I've been taking amitriptyline without success. If this continues to be the case, I wonder whether something's to be said for Courtney to be referred to the pain management team, which I never got referred to either. So, oh, do you know? Oh, that man, I wanted a refund. I don't know why I never asked, because I feel like the girl I am now would have been like, what was that? I ain't paying. But back then I was like, oh, okay. But, oh, do you know what? I know my experience isn't much, but at the time, like, now I look back and I think, oh, I got so mad. Like, I am getting mad at them now, I know. But, like, there's so many more worse experiences. But looking at that, back when you just want answers and you're in all this pain, like, now I'm in agony, but I've got answers, so it's not easier, but mentally it is a bit, if that makes sense. I don't know. But I was just like, oh my goodness. And then I would just, it make you feel so down. And I can't say I felt lonely, because I had my family there. They knew I was going through. They were pushing me more to get a diagnosis and stuff. So I'm really grateful that I had all them around me. But it's just so draining, because even now I've got a consultant that listens to me, my doctor that listens to me. Whenever I go to an appointment, I dread it, because I'm just so nervous. I literally feel sick before my appointments, any appointments now. Even if I have to go see the nurse to pick up my pill, I'm stressing, because I'm like, oh my god, what are they going to say? They're going to say I'm lying, they're going to say this. They make you feel like you're crazy, and like I'm just nagging for painkillers and stuff, which I wish I wouldn't have to take them, because I know they're ruining my body from the inside, which the endo already is doing anyway. But it's ridiculous. It's like, you know, young girls don't want to be stuck inside all day. They don't want to not be able to walk. They don't want to be laying in bed crying all night because they're in agony. We come to you for... Oh, my lights died, sorry. Come to you for help, and this is what we get. It's just disgusting. So that's my little story. Sorry, I probably went on a little bit there. I have a bit of a rant. It's probably something I'll end up talking about again, because, you know, it's just one of those things. It happens. So now I'm going to cut over to Jazz's story.
I just want to say a massive thank you to Courtney for allowing me to collab with her on this very important video. So I'm just going to get right into it, because I've tried filming this about 5 times now and it's just not working for me. I am not built for YouTube life. I am Instagram through and through. but this is a very important video that I would really like to be involved with, because it's something I've experienced countless times, and that's quite crappy, to be honest. But it's quite common for people with chronic illnesses and, you know, general illnesses. Like, it is so upsetting how common it happens. I speak to more people who've been gaslit than haven't, basically. So I'm just gonna, like, off the top of my head, reel some stuff off, because I'm not very good at this, like I've said. So I was in A&E last year. I had a really bad experience when I was there. The doctor who saw me didn't even examine me, told me there was nothing wrong with me, and tried to send me home with Buscopan after telling him I was already taking tramadol, naproxen, and that wasn't working. So I don't know why he thought Buscopan was, but hey ho. So in the end, he did take me into a side room with his consultant, where they were not very nice to me at all. They started reading off how many times I've been to A&E with this issue, saying there's nothing they can do. You shouldn't come to A&E with this. This is not their problem, basically, which I then explained to them. I had ring 111 before I come to A&E, and they told me that I need to be seen in A&E because they suspected it might be a burst cyst or a twisted ovary, which is obviously a medical emergency. And then the doctor decided to tell me, 111, they're not medical professionals, you shouldn't listen to them. Great start. To which I then replied, I had spoken to a doctor, so a medical professional, who had told me I needed to come to A&E. But yeah, he wasn't very nice at all. These were not gynae consultants. They were just, you know, general, I don't know, A&E consultants. Yeah, so after all this, he was saying, like, there's nothing wrong with you, you're wasting A&E's time, like, all this. And then, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you, to which I explained, I have endometriosis, I have a diagnosis of endometriosis, and he decided to say, yeah, that's it though. You can imagine. So this was in COVID, and I don't have very good experiences with medical professionals as it is. I always have someone with me in appointments, because you tend to get gaslit, and I always like to have someone else there as proof of what's going on and stuff like that. So my mum wasn't with me because it was COVID, so you had to go in on your own. I got very upset at this point. I literally had a panic attack in the waiting room, which I do suffer with. So I asked if I could take my mask off, because I literally was like inhaling the mask. They told me no, so I literally had to sit there for about 5 minutes having a panic attack, to which they were saying, why are you upset? Don't be upset. If only they knew. I'm actually getting quite upset now thinking about it. Yeah. So the doctors left the room, and that was that. The nurse, what's it called, ward manager, ward nurse, or whatever they're called, sister in charge, and then come to speak to me. She apologised for everything I'd experienced. She said that she was going to actually put a complaint in against the doctors herself, because it was not right. I should have been allowed to take my mask off as well. They've admitted that. She tried to get me to stay to be seen by someone else, but at this point I was literally done with the place. And because of that awful experience, and that is just one of many, but this is just the most recent one I can think of, I've actually drawn away from A&E and getting medical help, which has just this year alone left me be admitted twice, because I've left a water infection go too far, which turned into a kidney infection, which then led to me being admitted, because of how severe it was. And that is basically all due to gaslighting, because now I'm too afraid to go to the doctors or anywhere, because I'm scared that I'm going to be told, yeah, it's your endo, there's nothing wrong with you. This is what I explained to the doctor when I see them in A&E about my kidney infection, because they were like, why did you leave your water infection for so long? And I said, well, I was in pain. I'm in pain every day, because that's my endo. That's my norm. I'm in pain. It would be weird for me not to be in pain. And I was scared that you were just going to say it was my endo, and why am I wasting your time? So I didn't bother. And they said, no, like, that's not how it works. You should always, like, get yourself checked out if it's not normal for you and stuff. So yeah, It's not very good. Like, obviously it can lead to long-term repercussions. Like, that one bad time has led me obviously to have 2 kidney infections. I left go longer than I should have. I also was under my local hospital. I'm not going to name any ones. This was the same hospital that I had this bad experience in. And I was admitted. This was when my symptoms first started, and I was being admitted pretty much every month. I would literally drop a stone like in 5 days over my period because I would be that ill. I would be being sick, like couldn't keep food or fluids down, couldn't even take painkillers because I was literally in that much pain that just anything I ate or drank or anything was coming straight back up. So I would have to be admitted to have IV painkillers, anti-sickness, etc. And this went on for like literally like a year. Every month I was being admitted. It was ridiculous. And they did a laparoscopy. It was meant to be by the consultant who was a endometriosis specialist. When I woke up, I found that he didn't do the operation, even though literally an hour before my op, he went through my pre-op with me and he was all like, yeah, I'm doing it. But he didn't. It was someone else. And they told me I don't have endometriosis, blah, blah, blah. It's just painful periods. Okay, hen. Anyway. So I carried on getting admitted, and they actually had me psych evaluated one time when I was in there. Bear in mind, I was literally drugged up to my eyeballs. I think I was on like 6 different painkillers, including Oromorph, and they decided to do it when my parents weren't there. Took me into a little side room, had a psych come down, speak to me about a load of stuff, and then they decided to tell me it was all in my head. And I was making this pain up, and stress can cause different signals in the body to cause different pain and blah blah blah. And I was literally like, what? Like, I actually thought, like, I must be very, very mentally unwell if I am making this pain up in my head. And you start to believe it after being told for so long, like, it's in your head. You do start to think, like, am I mentally unwell? But then it didn't explain the symptoms, like physically being sick, dropping weight, like the bleeding with bowel movements. Like, I can't make that stuff up. Like, that's not in my head. I would physically be taking photos of, if I'd had a bowel movement and there was blood in it, if I was weeing and there was blood in it, I would take pictures of everything because I was like, I am so sick of people telling me it's in my head. Like, I literally can't make this stuff up. Like, this is actually happening and I want proof. Which is actually really sad that I've had to go and do stuff like that, but I had to prove them wrong because I knew all along from the beginning that I wasn't making it up. But after, like I said, after being told for so long, you do start to think, like, is it me? So I went to see my consultant and I said I want to be referred to Cardiff to see an endo specialist, which I did in the end, and oh my days, what a difference. So I got seen by an endometriosis specialist. He did my laparoscopy and he diagnosed me with endo on my bladder and my urethra. So yeah, that was like the massive relief. I was, oh my days, like, you've changed my life. It was a relief to have the diagnosis. And then 4 years on, I am now in agonising pain, and I got referred back to my hospital, my local hospital, which is the one that told me that it was all in my head and there was nothing wrong with me. And they have decided now that my case is too complex for them to deal with. They are not equipped to deal with me. But they do admit that I do have endometriosis, and it's quite severe, in fact, so severe that they can't deal with it, which is actually quite laughable, because after years and years of them telling me it was all in my head, now you're telling me it's so bad you can't deal with it. I'm laughing. It's actually not funny, but it's my way of dealing with things. I try and be light-hearted to deal with these things, because it can actually have such a big emotional toll on you to go through all this and constantly be told it's in your head, blah blah blah. This is why I say to people, you know yourself best, you know your body best, you need to advocate for yourself, because half of these doctors, not all, not all, but half of them, they don't care. They don't. I think it's like they see, you know, so many things each day that they've kind of become like a bit robotic to people's feelings, and like they sometimes lack empathy and forget that we're not just a number. And you know, patient number 6, for example, we are a person with feelings. And you know, for the last like 8 years, my life is, I've not been able to fill my life to the purpose I want it to be. Like, it's and I don't want it to be that way, but that's just how it's turned out. And yeah, I think they need to remember, like, we don't want to be in this pain. We don't want to have this diagnosis. We want to live a normal, fulfilling life. But it's just not possible when you've got conditions like these, and being medical gaslit does not help. I don't know how many times I've been told to have a baby, you know, stuff like that. It was only, you know, a month ago, I spoke to my endo nurse and she told me, have you tried yoga? Have you tried mindfulness? I do agree. For me, mindfulness is a massive help with my mental health. On top of my endo, this is how I keep on top of my mental health so that I'm able to deal with my pain better. But I feel like, you know, they're great as extra bits on the side, but when I'm telling you I'm taking tramadol, I'm taking naproxen, I can't get out of bed some days. You know, I'm having to have my family be carers for me. Is yoga going to help me, or is that patronising me a little bit? And I think they've got a set script that they have to go through now with you, where they ask you, like, have you tried paracetamol? Have you tried yoga? Have you tried mindfulness and stuff, which may work for some people, but I feel like it needs to improve. It needs to be better, because that is really downplaying someone's symptoms. Well, that's what I felt anyway, personally. Like I said, it might work for some people. I totally get that. Like, mindfulness does work in certain aspects, but when you're literally saying, I can't get out of bed, if I do mindfulness for 5 minutes, is that going to help me get out of bed? I really doubt it. So yeah, they are just like the main big ones. Obviously, there's loads and loads of different times that I've been gaslit, and it's really sad. And I'm really sorry if you're watching this and you've had something similar happen to you, because it is horrendous. And do you know what? It's something I'll keep with me for the rest of my life. And I hope it doesn't stop you seeking treatment for any illnesses you may have, like it has with me, because I'm now in a position where I know my rights. I know what's going on with my body, and I know that I need more than what the doctors are giving me, and I expect more as well. I have had a better experience, but I've gone private, so I don't know if that's what's making the difference, but I'm now in a better place with the doctors I am under my care for, so that's a positive. And I hope that you are all able to find somebody who is empathetic and listens to you. And yeah, just know your rights, advocate for yourself, and don't take no shit. Lots of love to you all. Sorry, that was a very deep conversation. Hopefully me and Courtney will be able to do something a bit more lighthearted and, you know, fun maybe soon, because I know it's all very doom and gloom. And yeah, maybe we could do a video on our friendship and how endometriosis has like helped us to, you know, form this amazing friendship. That would be a lovely video. And I know endometriosis, as shit as it is, a lot of people have made very meaningful connections through it, and the, you know, the support system we have in place with each other, amazing, second to none. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.
Thank you so much to Jasmine for sharing her story. Here's her Instagram. Feel free to go and give us some love over there. Thank you. Bye. Hope you like the video.